So once you've decided what exactly you want on your site and what format you'd like to see it in, you're really ready to start designing your site. Now, before we discuss what we see here, because there's a lot going on, I want to draw your attention to this icon right here. It's going to give you a list of options that you can do with your web page. But for now, let's focus in on Manage Site. Okay. When you click on Manage Site, it sort of takes you to the background of your website or the skeleton. I want you to click on Pages. Pages is going to take you to a list of all the pages in your website. Think of it as like a table of contents. So if you're thinking of a book, the title and the cover would be Mrs. Cermak's example website, be the first thing people see when they visit it. Within that, you have subordinate chapters and pages. For example, class announcements would be like a chapter because it has pages subordinate to it. Class calendar, class photos, contact me, extra credit forms, and docs. Typically, these are the links that show up on the homepage unless you want to make one of the subordinate site or pages also present on your homepage. If you click on attachments, it's going to take you to a list of any document that you've uploaded to your site. This can be really handy if you have uploaded documents in multiple places and need to find them quickly. It'll actually tell you exactly where you put the documents. Page templates will tell you what kind of templates you have available to you. The four most basic ones that teachers typically work with is announcements. So that's essentially a mini blog. So anytime you post something, it's a mini blog that gets posted to the announcements page. Next is the filing cabinet, and that is essentially storage for any documents that you choose to upload. So it's a page specifically for documents. It doesn't allow for a whole lot of text, so keep that in mind. So for example, when I had my own website, I used the file cabinet for listing different documents and including different documents for different units. The list is exactly what it sounds like, and typically teachers use it for creating a list of important websites and URLs for visitors. And then, of course, the web page is the standard web page. Think of it as like a blank page that you can include text, pictures, presentations, documents, etc. on. Take a look at sharing and permissions. It's going to default to public on the web, meaning that your website is automatically available to anybody who searches for it on the web or who has the web address for it. If that is something you don't want or are not comfortable with, go ahead and click change and you'll see that you have a couple of options. The less restrictive option is to have it public for anybody who has a direct link. So they would have to know your direct web address in order to access it. So they wouldn't be able to access it through the search engines, but they also don't have to sign in to view it. The more restrictive option is the link for specific people. So in order to see this webpage, you are going to have to be signed in as a particular user who has the invitation to view this site. Okay. But if you would like it to be readily available to your visitors, I would recommend public, and it's actually going to default to that anyway. Okay, now that we looked behind the scenes of this website, let's take a look at the site itself so that you can determine how you want to use particular features and if you want to use them at all. Before we talk about what we see here, because there's a lot of neat stuff going on the homepage, let's take a look at the sidebar because it's going to take you to the different pages that are being incorporated here. I know it's kind of hard to read green text on a blue background, but do your best and go ahead and click on Homework Assignments. As you can see here, this is an announcements format. Okay. So these essentially act as mini blogs, and you may notice that it's sort of the same text, lorem ipsum dolor. That's Latin, and it's typically used as a placeholder for programmers and web page designers. So just see that as an invitation to edit it. You can edit it by clicking Edit Post. If you want to create your own post, click on the little pencil icon and it'll automatically load the editor. And this is where you can type in your new post. This would be the body, and you can also change the title as well. So let's cancel that. I'm not going to add a new one, but let's move on to extra credit. Extra credit here is essentially just the web page template. So you can see that there's not a certain post, there's not a list. It is literally just a web page that you fill in. You can change this to another format if you'd like. take a look at this little icon and go to page settings. Page settings will give you the option of doing lots of neat stuff like allowing attachments, allowing comments, including a page description, deciding whether you want to show this on the sidebar. This little blue thing right here, this is the sidebar. But what I want to turn your attention to is both the URL and the page template. If you would like to specialize or individualize the URL, this is where you would do it. It doesn't individualize the entire web page's URL, just this particular page's URL. And you can see here that it's using the web page template. If you want to change that, just go ahead and click on change, and then it'll give you a list of 4 to learn or to use. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Contact Me. And Contact Me is something that is a little bit more advanced, but you're essentially using Google Forms. Remember, this is where I said it helps to become familiar with the Google Apps. You're going to create a form in the Google Apps, and for help with that, take a look at our advanced Google website training, and then you essentially embed it within this framework. And you do so by just using the editing features and then insert it as needed. You can insert by clicking on the little Insert tab up here, and it's going to bring you to a list of things that you could insert into every single page. Okay, if we go to class announcements, it's that same announcements format that you see here. And that is essentially where you would just put in your announcements for each day. Class calendar. This is one of the neat features of Google. You will have to remember, start your calendar in your Google Calendar app, and then you essentially embed it here. And what you do, click Edit, and then if you want to get rid of this, you can just click X, okay, and then go to Insert and insert your calendar. Okay, and you pick whatever calendar you'd like. I'm going to pick my own calendar that I had for my email. Click Select, and it'll give you options about what you want to include. Click Save, and then it'll be on your website. Now, it doesn't look like it right here, but once you click Save, you'll see that it comes right up. And whenever you update your calendar app or your calendar through the app, it'll automatically update here. You don't have to go through the extra process of refreshing it or updating it on the site. The reading list is the list format that I told you guys about. And in order to customize this list, go ahead and click on Edit Page. And this is where you would add any list that you want to add or any item to your list. You can also customize it by changing the relationship of these different options or changing the order. You can change how it's sorted, etc. Useful links is also the link or the list format. So keep that in mind. A lot of people use this for important website addresses. Class photos is just the standard web page format, and you can replace a photo album, add a photo album as needed. Forms and docs is the filing cabinet option, the filing cabinet format for your website. And this is where you would upload different forms that you want people to have ready access to. However, it's not the only place that you can do that. Now notice, you can add files that are not on Drive. You can actually do that. However, be aware, if they're Word documents or anything that doesn't come from the Drive, it will be limited in terms of storage space. You can only store so many that are not from Drive. If you store from Drive, you have pretty much unlimited storage. Okay, but again, that comes with drawbacks because it does change the formatting sometimes. Okay, once you have figured out exactly what formats you can use and how you can arrange them, you're ready to construct your page. And let's go ahead and go to the next lesson in order to do that.